Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League. That was a great last series between Origin and Velocity. We're going to move on now to the rival series, where we're going to watch our first game between Distortion and Kings in round one. My name is Lancer, and I'm joined here tonight by JK. JK, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How's it going?
Not bad. I'm really looking forward to this series. It's hopefully going to be a lot closer than that last one. Uh,
Oh
we
god,
got
that was
Distortion and the
terrible.
Kings. Yeah, it was a little rough to watch, but we got two teams here really even, the fifth and the sixth seed, Distortion and Kings. Both of them finishing 9-9 on the season. So this one is about as neck and neck as you could get.
Yep, that's you're spot on there. Kings, they've been having as good of a season as the oh god, I'm sorry. Jesus, I lost everything. They've been having as good as a season as Distortion has. Last time these two teams played, the Kings did come on top with a 3-0 sweep. That was back on the 3rd of August. So, but that was a little while ago, like 3 weeks ago. So hopefully, the hopefully Distortion can come back up. You never know. Anything can go. It can go either
Yeah,
way. It's playoffs.
yeah, exactly. And I think it's important to know that Distortion, way back at the start of the season, swept Kings. So these guys are 1-1. And neither of them have actually looked too hot in their past six games. Kings have only won two of the past six, and Distortion's only won three. So, we're still a little uncertain here of whether these teams have the momentum to, go on to second round, semifinal, and possibly the final. But I mean, this is a really important first step. But as the guys are joining the lobby here, I'm wondering, do you have any specific prediction you want to make on who's going to take this?
I said this in the week in review that came out this morning. I believe I said I think I'm going Distortion. I'm I'm taking Distortion in, I'd say 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you there. I think it's gonna be a little closer. I'm gonna guess that it's gonna be a Distortion in Game 7, just because of how close these teams have been all season. They've been on and off, and I really think it's just gonna come down to whoever's gonna peak today. We got to wait and see which individual players are gonna step up for their respective teams, and I
True.
really think it's just gonna be a coin flip from there.
Also to note, Kings do not have their one of their star players available. Munson, he was unfortunately not able to make it tonight, as they'll be subbing in Cajun Miller, their GM, as their sub. So hopefully Cajun might be able to pull it off, but you never know. Again, Munson was like one of the star players for this Kings roster. I've casted one of their games before, and Munson was just a strong key component to this team. So it's going to be tough if they're going to want to beat this team without him.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're a Kings fan, you got to hope that they've been practicing with Cajun Miller in instead of him, because I mean, as we all know, if you make a roster switch at the last minute, it changes the entire dynamic, especially if the players that you're switching out don't play similar to each other at all. So, I mean, with that being said, I really think Distortion's got a clear advantage here, given that they're playing with their full roster.
Yes, you are right. Although we don't want to be sleeping on Doodle. Also, I believe he was a player of the week. Doodle is another star player of that Kings roster. Hopefully, he can step up in the absence of Munson. But also on the other side of Distortion, we have Sicky and Vokes, I believe, playing along with, let's see, along with Hunch. So that's going to be a tough lineup to beat if Kings are going to pull on top.
Yeah, and it
So
looks like we're gonna get started in a minute here. Just a reminder to everyone watching that now that we are in playoffs, these are going to be best of best of seven. So it's going to be a lot longer than the traditional format that we're used to in the best of five. So players are going to have more time to settle into the series, and we're off here as both teams heading for the kickoff, and it was about 50-50. As now Distortion taking it down the field with Vokes. Goes for the air dribble, but he can't really get much done. Now it's stuck in the Kings half. Popped off the crossbar. Doodle getting a nice 50, and that's bouncing back off the back wall. And Cajun Miller with the big clear now. Doodle up in the air, couldn't get a touch on it. And now the Kings are looking to keep that pressure on. Nice block. Is Wolfie coming out to try and touch it. Folks pushing up the field now. Taking it all the way. And Kings are going to try and control a nice beat by Doodle to take that one into the midfield. And he's going to be able to keep the ball here. Tries to flick, but unable to get a good pop on it. Sicky the kid to chase. And I know he's been, oh, wow. And wasn't expecting that, but Sicky the kid's put the first one in.
I believe it was Doodle, just own gold. I mean, Vokes was right there. That was not gonna touch it. It was gonna go straight to Vokes, but it's gonna be an own goal. Unfortunate.
Yeah, and think of maybe a miscomm there by the Kings. I think Doodle did have just a little bit more time. He may have been able to try and pop that one out to the side, but an unfortunate error to start the series. Maybe a little bit of nerves coming out. It's a close one coming there for Doodle on the other end, looking to make up for that last play. Cajun Miller getting it centered, but there's no one there, and Hunch will take it up the wall. Nice block by Wolfie, keeping it in the offensive half. And that one popping back out to King's side. Nice redirect, and that is goal number 2 for them, coming through Hunch.
An amazing passing play from Distortion, going straight from Vokes over to Hunch. Doodle couldn't get there in time. Distortion's gonna go up by 2.
Yeah, and early on here we're seeing Distortion coming alive really quickly. Kings looking just a little bit slow. They have had some possession, but now an opening chance here, and Doodle will make sure it counts.
As you were saying, right as you said that, Doodle getting it past 2 with an unfortunate touch from Vokes, hitting it straight to the center of the net. It's just wide open.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing some early game nerves here from both sides. A loss in this series means that their season is over. I'm sure both teams are going to want to play as careful as possible, but early on here, a couple of unfortunate errors led to goals, but credit to the offenses. They've made them count. Hunch getting a flip, but that clear not going too far, and Doodle keeps the pressure up. Wolfie with a block to keep it in the Distortion half. Sicky the kid trying to clear, but Kings seem to be meeting every single clear with a nice 50-50. Doodle punching it back down the field. Good block. Wolfie off the crossbar. Doodle again trying to keep it in, and a free shot from Cajun Miller, and he scores his first goal of the game.
Cajun is going to plow through after a nice touch centered by Doodle. It's going to get the dunk on Hunch. It's going to go bottom right corner, tying up the game. 3 minutes left.
Now we are 2-2, 2:52 on the clock, and I gotta ask JK, did you expect such a high-scoring game in this game 1?
I was more expecting a little bit of one-sided towards Distortion. As we said, a nice shot from Sicky, but I was expecting a little more one-sided from Distortion. But Kings have been keeping up, so it's been very close.
Yeah, and now it's back in the Distortion half. Vokes gonna try and carry this one back down. Only gets to around halfway, but no one pressuring on the Kings side. 2 players in net, and Sicky goes for the dribble, but couldn't quite get it far enough. Let's see if Distortion can keep some of the pressure. It feels like they've been on the receiving end for most of it so far. Nice shot from Vokes, but Cajun Miller's there to receive. Sicky puts it just wide, and Wolfie panicking on the goal line. Now shot coming out, good block from Cajun Miller. He seems to be holding up. I know he's usually the sub for this side, but he's really been holding his own so far. Sicky the kid's up for it, and it's open now. Nice 50-50 from him, and Hunch puts it in.
Great 50 from Sicky. As I was saying, Sicky's a very strong player, and Hunch is just going to put it in. I do got to mention, though, I believe it was Doodle that broke Hunch out of a Rule 1. Disrespect.
And let's see if that's going to tell us how this series is going to go. You know, you break the Rule 1 and usually you lose, but let's see if that holds true here for the Kings. His Doodle going for the air dribble. He's going to get one more touch and smacks it off the back wall. Good effort from Wolfie, and he gets the double, but Hunch is there to receive. Vokes trying to put that on goal, but it's just wide. Doodle is there. Now he's going to try and dribble this one downfield. Good flick off the backboard, and Vokes is there. An excellent read off the back wall. Cage and Miller keeping it in, though. Now Kings have an opportunity to cement themselves in the other half, but Vokes clears it away. Sicky the Kid going for an air dribble. There's no one in goal. Couldn't get the double touch, though, and Cajun Miller again is there on the defensive half. And I gotta say, he's really been stepping up big, especially on defense. He's already got 3 saves here.
He's been playing very well, keeping up with everything that's been going on this game. Cajun's just top of the leaderboard right now for his team. He's playing really strong.
Yeah, and Distortion now, final 30 seconds. They're going to look to just hold this lead. They don't need another goal, but they'll want to waste as much time in the other half as they can. They almost squeak one in, but Wolfie's there. But still a little awkward from the Kings. Doodle hitting that up the wall. Kings need a goal right now if they want any chance. It's a good start from the save by Cajun Miller. And it's popped out in the midfield. Doodle's going to get a free touch, but he can't put it on goal. Hunch now trying to clear it out. Kings almost through Doodle, but he couldn't get the redirect on target. Cajun Miller smacking it off the wall. Vokes has a shot. Couldn't get it in. Just needs to touch the ground. And Distortion's going to get game 1. Cajun Miller keeps it up in the corner. Vokes to stay on it. A good pop. It's on towards the goal. And it's going to touch the ground finally. Distortion take game 1.
Kings almost had a chance there towards the end, but not a great touch from Doodle as it's going to hit the ground off the back wall. A Distortion taking game 1. You love to see it, but Hunch with a powerful 2 for 2 in his shot percentage. He's doing good things right here. Hunch follow along with Sicky with another goal and an assist there. Sicky had 7 shots. You can just see with the 7 shots just from one person, you can see Distortion had a lot of pressure. So it's tough for Kings to come back from this, but they
And I
might.
mean, Distortion, they did have a lot of the pressure there, but it's not to say that the Kings didn't have their fair share of chances. They had 6 shots, so decent amount of opportunities for them, but it's just about capitalizing. Maybe being able to secure that ball in the offensive half just a little bit more. A lot of times they'd go for a solo play, especially through Doodle, an air dribble into the opponent's half, and they just couldn't keep it there because teammates were off getting boosts, things like that.
We're gonna head into game 2. Will Kings? You think Kings can come back from that loss?
I think they can because I saw a lot of really good things from him. I think Cajun Miller's doing an excellent job on defense. Seemed really solid. He always knew where to be. You get those 50-50s. And Doodle's looking really clean with his mechanics, but I think they need to start going for team plays more. Start looking for each other in the midfield to get those passes and keep possession. As we're off here. Game number 2, Distortion winning 1-0. And a reminder that this is a best of 7, so plenty of time for the Kings to get back in this one. It's Wolfie now. Solo play down. Doodle couldn't put the shot on target, though. Now Sicky going to come away with it. Able to find Hunch in the midfield, but nothing more comes from it. Vokes, though, punching it into the corner. And Wolfie a little awkward. He's going to give up possession there. Now Distortion able to keep it in the Kings' half again. Doodle in the air. Vokes with a decent flick, but a double commit from Kings will make the save, and it looks like they'll get away with this one. Hunch going for the redirect, but just pops it straight up. Vokes beats Wolfie to the ball. And that one's popped up off the backboard. It's looking like a bit of boomer ball here, JK. Just teams hitting the ball back and forth, trying to feel each other out.
Yeah, even they've already played one game. They're still trying to feel each other out, trying to get some sense in, as I say that. Distortion.
Yeah, that's a great shot there from Vokes. A little awkward at the front post there from Wolfie, but Vokes able to capitalize on it, and Distortion take the 1-0 lead. And that kickoff going straight in the air. Vokes with some time on it. But he's met by Cajun Miller, who's going to knock that one into his own corner. Doodle with a good flick, and we're seeing even more of those solo mechanics coming out from him. He's really been the key man for Kings on that offensive end, but even alone, he can't do it all himself. As Wolfie hits that one on goal. Good save from Vokes, but he's low on boost now. Nice demo coming out from Sicky. Hunch with a good save, and now Distortion looking to take this one upfield. Mount another attack. It comes to nothing now, and Distortion's going to have to back off and try and regroup. As Sicky goes up for the air dribble. Doodle beating him again. Going for the double touch, and oh my god, it's off the post. Cajun Miller with the rebound. Hunch makes the save, and Distortion keeps their 1-0 lead. Wolfie with a good 50, and wow, Distortion survived that attack, and they keep their lead here.
I was crazy. A turn of events right there. It seemed like Kings could have had their chance to tie this game back up, but some great saves from Distortion defense just denies all their shots. Crazy.
And with how few chances the Kings have had so far, you gotta wonder, is that gonna come back to bite them here? Such an important opportunity, and you know, Rocket League is a game of momentum, and when you're unable to put away those chances, you gotta wonder how that's gonna affect their morale. Sicky now hitting them one up. He's got it in the center, but Distortion's not going to press it too hard. And Doodle trying to come away with it. Vokes with the nice touch to stop the attack for now. Cajun Miller, another good 50. Sicky puts that one not on goal, but straight to Doodle. Vokes popping it in the middle, and Hunch couldn't get a good enough shot on that. It's gone off to the side now. And plays stuck in the midfield. Sicky's going to try and hold possession here in the corner. A good pop, but met by the Kings defense. Vokes now. Good touch off to Sicky, but it's bounced in. JK, we're seeing more of this midfield play. Both teams still trying to get a foothold on offense. It has seemed like Distortion's had most of it, but still not too many great chances from either side here.
Definitely. Again, Kings only have 3 shots, along with Distortion's 7, I believe, after that goal. Wow.
Yeah, that's a great double touch there from Sicky, flexing his mechanics there on the defense. I don't think either defender was prepared for that good of a contact, and Distortion double up their lead here. And with 1 minute left, and Kings being stuck in their half for a large portion of this game, looks like this one might just be about over. But JK, what do you think the Kings have to do to get back in this game?
If anything, Kings are just gonna have to get more momentum. They're getting stuck in their zone, especially after counterattacks. That's another one.
Yeah, and I mean, Distortion getting a little lucky. Vokes and Hunch with the double commit there, but it works out, bouncing off the roof, and Sicky, great contact to capitalize on it. But Kings, I mean, it looks like they've got the right speed going, but I think just some more positive intent, I guess, with their touches. Maybe some more passes, some more dribbles. Try and keep the ball more on that offensive end.
Definitely.
Wolfie
You don't want to be
getting
throwing the ball away. And as I say that, geez.
That is a great double touch there from Wolfie. Sure, that's going to be some hype in the comms. It's a great goal from them, and maybe just their ticket back into this game. It's 3-1 now, 30 seconds. Certainly not impossible for them to get back in this, but they're going to need to ride that wave of momentum, get the ball into that Distortion half as soon as possible. Hunch with the whiff coming out, and Vokes knocks it off to the side. Wolfie hitting it into the middle, and Cajun Miller's going to have to ball chase here. Sicky comes away with it now, and the net's open, but he can't quite reach it. Oh, it's a good pass, and Vokes puts it away.
At this point, they're just stat padding. Sicky with a nice little pinch there, it seemed straight to Vokes with a wide open net.
Yeah, and I think if the Kings weren't 3-1 down, they may not have conceded that because at the moment they've just thrown everything forward, and unfortunately that results in the quick counterattack. And now, oh, Distortion not able to add the fifth goal, that miss. But it looks like Distortion are going to take this game 2, and they go up 2-0 in the series. Utter domination from them so far.
Definitely, and you never want to go down 3-0 in a best of 7 series, as it's most surely definite elimination. So Kings are gonna have to try and pull back from this one. Definitely gonna need to have more intent with touches, not trying to just throw the ball away and just touch the ball just to touch it. Trying to get some passes, like you said. Got to keep the pressure and watch the counterattacks, because again, right as I said that earlier, they got scored on a counterattack. So you just
Yeah.
need to figure out the counterattacks, watch the rotations, if anything. Need to have that third guy a little more back.
Yeah, and I think who do you think the player that needs to kind of spearhead that attack is for Kings?
At this rate, definitely I would think either Cajun or Wolfie. No offense to Doodle. Doodle's been doing really well, but I've seen those two mostly with their attack here in this series. If any of them, if Kings want to pull out something, it's going to be either of those two.
Yeah, and let's see if they can get it together here. They're down 2-0 in the series. By no means are they out of it though. They've been on defense for the majority, only getting 4 shots in that last one compared to Distortion's 9. But they start fresh here in game 3 as they start off on the offense. Cajun Miller trying to touch it off the backboard, but it goes as far as Hunch, who blocks it away. Now Vokes a one-on-one chance. Good stop by Wolfie, and he'll take it up the wall. Sicky's up, uncontested. Couldn't get the double, and Wolfie's there to pop it away. And Doodle just pop it back down the field, and Distortion gonna try and control it again. Sicky hitting it in the open midfield. Wolfie over to Doodle, a good pass. Maybe a little far, Doodle wasn't able to reach it. Now Sicky up for the 50, and he loses it to Cajun Miller. Hunch knocking that one on goal, but Wolfie makes the save. Falling awkwardly now, he's only got 4 boosts in net. And Distortion slowly applying pressure. They've got all the boosts here, JK.
Definitely, mostly Distortion. I've seen them getting those boost steals in the Kings half. Kings have gotten 1 or 2 clears, but immediately go straight back to their own defensive half, and seems the Distortion's been putting up the pressure already. A minute and a half in, Distortion has 2 shots with Kings 0. Wolfie does have 2 saves, so he's making heroic efforts, but will it be enough?
Yeah, and Kings here now in the Distortion half. Let's see if they can hold the ball here. Maybe get some boost steals. I think a demo or 2 would be good for them to try and cut off that rotation. As Cajun Miller almost knocks it on goal, but he was just wide. And Wolfie knocking that one back down. Sicky, a close call there, but he's able to get the clear, and now he's off the wall. Sees Vokes in the midfield, and he gets the shot on net, and he scores.
It's a great passing play. Doodle read the pass, just couldn't get the touch on it. Vokes beat him there, and Vokes with a nice finish. It's 1-0.
And it looked like Wolfie and Cajun Miller both pushed up really far on offense, trying to get that attack going, and it just left Doodle all alone on defense, unable to stop the passing play. As Distortion yet again take the lead. Cajun Miller with a good save though, keep them relatively in this match. But possession looks like it's going to go back to Distortion here. Wolfie, good pinch into the corner. And possession now looks like it's going to go to Cajun Miller, who takes it smartly up the wall. He's got a bit of time here. Unable to get that flip though, and Hunch will take it back the other way. Could be another counterattack. Sicky with the shot. And Hunch was looking for that demo, but couldn't quite get it. It's now Wolfie, unable to control, and Vokes will steal it right off him. Good pop by Cajun Miller. Doodles has time here, but he's just redirected it off the wall. Follows his own shot. Cajun Miller with time and space, but a good save from Hunch, closing down it quickly. Sicky hitting it into the midfield. Hunch unable to get a touch on it. And JK, we're seeing this game a lot closer in terms of scoreline, and the Kings are getting a lot more chances.
Definitely. We've seen, actually, since that last time I talked to you, it seemed Kings brought in more offense. Again, they're on offense again. They're getting these shots and they're holding the pressure for a little bit. They just need to finish those shots, get stronger, more powerful shots, make sure they're on target, as they've been getting pressure, but it's not the great shots.
Cajun Miller almost getting another shot. He's had plenty of them this game, but hasn't been able to convert, but some of that's credit's got to go to the quick distortion defense, as Vokes couldn't get a flip there, but he'll get a touch past the defender, and now Doodle's a little awkward, but a good 50 from him. He's got space for a pass. Cajun Miller following it. Sicky there to block it again, and it seems like Kings now starting to get some passes together as Doodle shoots another one on goal. But Distortion seems to be reading most of those. It's Cajun Miller with a great shot, and he puts it in to tie the game.
Wow, Cajun. The nice little pinch on the sidewall is going to pop it up right over Vokes. Seemed like Vokes got the ghost hit, but it's going to go bar down. It's going to tie it up with a minute left.
And now, hopefully the Kings can use this momentum, find their way back into this series. A loss here means they go down 3-0, and they'd be on quadruple match point, as Distortion would only need one more win after that to take the series. But the Kings are back in this now. Folks, almost taking that Distortion lead back. It was a really great save. And now a counterattack possibly from Wolfie. Sicky the Kid blocking it away. Distortion is starting to feel the heat a little bit. They've been on defense more, but Sicky the Kid with the outplay and Sicky the Kid with the goal.
Sicky started going on the counterattack, nice flick up in the beginning, and just completely beats out Wolfie. Put it speedy into the wide open net, 72 miles per hour. Great little catch there.
Yeah, and it seems like heartbreak late here for Kings. But it's not over yet. It's Doodle popping that one high. Sicky with a great block. He's been all over the field this game. And he might get another goal here as the net's open, and Hunch gonna steal that one from him.
Mainly a great play from, nice 50 from Vokes. Again, Sicky would have had the goal, but Hunch is just gonna steal that from him, make sure everyone gets a goal on the team. Now all three players having one goal, but you just hate to see it for the Kings.
Yeah, and looks like it's gonna be too late here. Sicky might grab another one. Unable to, but Distortion is going to go up 3-0 in the series, and they'll be feeling pretty comfortable going to this game 4.
Definitely. Again, like you said, they only have to win one more time if they want to advance to the the lower quarterfinals. So it's going to be a lot easier for Distortion to take this than Kings, but you never know. Could see a reverse sweep. Highly unlikely, but I'm rooting for it because Kings, they've been showing the pressure. Again, a lot more opportunities and shots than they have in the past 2 games before that. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think Kings might be able to pull it.
and their shot total only says 4, but they definitely had more territory in the other half than they have in the previous 2 games. You know, they had some good momentum going there through the middle of that match, but I mean, if you're Cajun Miller, you're the GM of this org, this could be your last game of the season if you're the Kings. So if you're Cajun Miller, what are you telling your team to get back in this?
If I was Cajun right now, I would just be trying to calm everyone down. Definitely maybe some anger, maybe, but definite some stress. And he's just trying to calm everyone down, get everyone in their vibes, and hopefully he can try and help them pull this off.
Yeah, and if there's one thing about Rocket League, it's not over until it is over. They could easily grab a game here, and who knows what happens from there. But
Definitely.
Kings are going to need to score more than one goal in a game if they're going to want to do that. As Distortion looking to take the first attack here again in Game 4. Vokes now looking to carry this one into the other half. Good dribble. Now Cajun Miller hitting that one into his own corner. Couldn't follow it up now, and Sicky's going to have free possession. Goes for the air dribble, but Doodle reads it really well to stop that one from going any further. And now Cajun Miller meeting that pass early. And we see Wolfie now. It looks like he switched to the Batmobile. Should be an interesting change of play style from him. Now,
Maybe we
Wolfie.
can get a Cuxer pinch maybe from Wolfie. That would be funny to see.
Yeah, that would be an interesting change to the series. And I mean, the Batmobile usually known for players who play more defensive, more methodical gameplay. And let's see if he can maybe bring that to calm his team down a little more, as he almost goes on goal there. Now he's going to just keep it in the other half and leave it for Doodle, who gets beaten out by Vokes. Cajun Miller now trying to clear a Distortion. Again, they're stealing all the boosts here, and Hunch's going to get a free shot. Net's open. Vokes puts it away.
Unfortunate turn of events for Kings after not a great touch from Doodle. Then another missed touch, so Vokes is going to put it in the wide open net. Take the goal advantage.
Yeah, and Distortion again, just keeping that pressure on, just pounding it back into the relatively undefended Kings backboard. And, you know, they boost starve them, and shot after shot, one's eventually going to go in for them. And Kings haven't really been able to adjust too much in this series, so Distortion's not going to change up that strategy. Now Vokes, another shot on goal. It's a good save from Doodle. More Distortion offense here. Hunch keeping that one in the other half. And now we're seeing again JK. Kings just kind of knocking that ball away. It's a good shot from Cajun Miller there, though.
Definitely, Kings are going back to that back and forth gameplay. It looks like they're playing hot potato, but Cajun gonna put a top corner.
Yeah, it's a great shot from him. Able to read that, and in my opinion, he's been the man for Kings. He's stepped up a lot this series, and, you know, he's doing good things for them. But let's see if he can keep them up and lead them to a win here. That's got to be some motivation for them.
Definitely.
Cajun Miller now again on the ball. Looks like he's going to get another touch here. Tiki clears. Now the Kings have a chance to keep it in the other end. Doodle gets a good first touch. And a good 50 now. Let's see if Kings can control it. Wolfie and Cajun Miller up with the double commit. Stopped away though from Wolfie. It was a good recovery by him. Now Cajun Miller, he has some time on the ball. And they're giving him a bit of space, but Hunch closes it down pretty quickly. Siki knocking that one forward. It's 1-1 here halfway through. And this one really is anybody's game, JK.
Definitely. It's still tied after that nice goal from Cajun. 2 minutes left now, as it's been a lot more even. But oh god.
What a play from Cajun Miller here. Goes for the dribble. I'm not sure if he's going for the pass to Wolfie, but he gets it by the defender, and Vokes no option there but to put it in his own net. And for the first time in this series, the Kings have the lead.
That's amazing. It's a great play.
And now hopefully the Kings can hold on to this. This is the first time we're seeing them with the lead. Let's see how they play when they're ahead. We know how they play when they're from behind, but, you know, teams can be completely different. They can be more motivated, play smarter when they know they have a lead to defend. As Wolfie hitting that one forward. Siki a little awkward in the midfield, but can't really get rid of it. And Doodle putting away the third goal for Kings.
Distortion now just making sloppy touches. Not really quick on the ball, and Doodle's just gonna take that off of the top of Siki's car and hit it top shelf.
Yeah, and I mean, point you made about those sloppy touches, it looks like Distortion's just got a little too comfortable in this series, not playing as quick as they were in games 1 through 3, and they're certainly getting punished for it. It's Cajun Miller almost putting in a fourth one for them. And Distortion, if they want to get the sweep, they're going to need to score now and quickly as we're past the minute mark, and it's stuck in their own end. Hunch carrying it up the wall. Sicky goes in for him, able to get the clear. But again, Kings now just look happy to sit in the midfield, wait for those touches, and just clear it right back down as we see Cajun Miller pound it back down the field. He's popped it back out. Doodle uncontested, able to get the shot, and he gets the goal too.
Doodle, a nice little shot there from nice pop up by Cajun. It did seem Hunch was in the back of the net. He could have saved that, but it seemed he side flipped. Very unfortunate. Now it's just back to stat padding. This time for Kings.
Yeah, and if you're Distortion as Wolfie pounds that one off his own backward. If you're Distortion, I mean, this game is basically out of reach. Do you think it's time to panic now for them? Start worrying about this now 2-game lead?
I don't think they have to worry. There might be a little stress, but they sure have the power and the will to pull out a 4-1 here, maybe.
Yeah,
But you never know. Kings are coming out strong with momentum.
Yeah, and we saw Doodle really step up big there. 2 goals to him, and Cajun Miller as well with another 2. But Distortion's still out shooting the King side. They only got one more shot, but to your point about Distortion not panicking, they definitely had the offense there to win that, but just unable to capitalize on their chances.
Definitely. And as you said, Doodle, I believe that was his big step up moment. Cajun's been doing a lot of work all series for this Kings roster, but Doodle now making a strong appearance. 2 goals after 2 shots. So, I mean, strong plays from both him and Cajun, as well as the saves from Wolfie. Wolfie's the man on defense right now. So
Yeah, it looks like Wolfie, at the moment, he's just letting Cajun Miller and Doodle run rampant on offense. And he said, look, you guys go forward and I'll sit back and, fill in the holes in the rotation and just keep that pressure going. And, he switched to the Batmobile and he looks really good in the Batmobile. So Kings have found their way back into the series. It's 3-1 going into game number 5.
definitely.
And now game number 5 starts. We see kickoff about to happen, and Distortion, they'll want to close this one out before Kings get another one, because that momentum's just going to build and build. And in a tournament setting where your tournament life is on the line, if you lose the series, you definitely don't want to make this one closer than it has to be. Hunch now with a clear out to the other side. Wolfie, there's a good block from him, and now he's going to have possession. A good 50 that gives Cajun Miller possession. And he'll take an early shot, but Sicky's there to make the save. Doodle hitting that one off the post, and it's going to roll around to the other side where Wolfie can keep it in the other half. A good shot from him, but Vokes is there. Wolfie with another 50. Pushed up pretty far here in the corner. Cajun Miller's last man. Got to be careful, but he makes the play work. And now Vokes has a little space, but Wolfie closes it down quickly. And JK, we're seeing the Kings play a lot more urgent defending. They aren't giving Distortion that space anymore.
That's definitely one of the advantages they've had. Again, Wolfie, nice shot.
Yeah, and Cajun Miller putting that first one on. We're seeing Hunch and Sicky with the unfortunate double commit. Maybe just a miscommunication there or a bit of panic, but Kings capitalize on it, and they've picked up their speed now, and they're looking really dangerous in Distortion at the moment. Can't seem to figure it out.
As I was saying, Kings, the one key factor of why they were losing those first 3 games, because they were giving Distortion lots and lots of space, and a lot of time do anything they wanted with a nice shot from Wolfie again, but
Yeah,
anything.
we're seeing Distortion kind of falling apart a little bit under this pressure, and I mean you can't really blame them. They've been used to having so much space in those early games, and now it's a total switch up from the Kings. Wolfie
Definitely.
with a shot on net, and Wolfie with the goal in the Batmobile. Looks like the switch has been working out for him.
Wolfie now with his second goal of this game. Wolf completely beating out Hunch. Hunch thought he was gonna go for the flick, but he just kept it along the ground, and that's gonna be two.
And Kings, each play that develops, they're looking more and more dangerous here. And, you know, if you're Distortion at this point in time, you got to be wondering just a little bit, you know, how good are the Kings going to get in this series? As Cajun Miller can't put the third one in for them, folks, with a goal line clear, and Sicky going to put it down. Oh, they punished them on the other side of the field.
Very unfortunate for the Kings right there. Had the opportunity after a nice shot from Cage and lucky it hit crossbar. And Sicky with a nice counterattack launching the ball downfield. Gonna be 2-1.
Yeah, Kings looking a little too excited there on the offensive end. All three players on Distortion's half, and that's partly what led to the Distortion goal. But I don't think Kings are going to be too concerned here. It's really just an unforced error that they know they can fix. Doodle now, good shot, but he's met by Sicky. Wolfie up uncontested. Folks sneaking up on him at the last moment to get a crucial touch. Now that ball's just going to sit for a few moments. Cajun Miller's got a bit of time. He crosses it. Wolfie unable to get the touch. And Vokes clears it. And, you know, I think Vokes is a player that we really haven't given too much attention to in this series. I feel like he's been pretty solid for Distortion. What about you, JK?
I 100% would agree with that. I mean, Hunch and Sicky have been hitting all the flashy goals, and as I say that, Sicky with a nice aerial.
Yeah, and I think it's important to know this play doesn't happen without, you know, that dribble across the field from Vokes and then that pop up to Sicky. He's doing a lot of the unnoticed work for them, and all credit to them. Distortion back in this game now, and it looked like Kings were gonna comfortably see this one out early, but a quick change in pace from Distortion has made all the difference for them. And now Kings a little more defending to do. That shot from Vokes going wide. Sticky gets a good 50. Oh, and Hunch couldn't beat him now, and Vokes a little awkward, but he does well to knock that one off his own backboard. A good punch in the middle. Wolfie, though, couldn't quite get the shot. Doodle trying to chase, and now Sicky unable to pop it over. Wolfie going up for the play. Wolfie with the touch, but Vokes is there. He stayed grounded, and he'll make the save, but it's awkward now for Distortion in their own end. Sicky gonna try and dribble. Gets past one, but he got bumped on the way. Wolfie able to beat him. Hunch centering that. Cajun Miller can't get to it. And now Distortion happy to just keep this one in the King's corner. Wolfie beating one. Doodle now, and we're a minute left in this game. And as a reminder, if the Kings lose this, they are out of the Nemesis Rival League playoffs. And they got to be feeling the pressure now, but well, maybe not as much, as a 50-50 goes in for Cajun Miller.
Wrong 50. Completely beating out Vokes, and it's just going to go all the way out of reach from Hunch. It's going to be, they're going to take back that lead.
Yeah, and it's a bit unfortunate there for Distortion. They looked like they were getting some good pressure, but just an unfortunate 50-50 from them. And no one was really expecting it. Wolfie now going to try and double up their lead. Vokes clearing it. Now Hunch. Distortion need to move now if they want to get this game back. But with 30 seconds, it looks like Kings are just going to kill some time. Doodle with a good pinch off the roof. But Sicky's there to stop it. Kings again holding that pressure. They're doing a really good job of wasting that time. They're approaching 10 seconds and Vokes has a dribble. Doodle with a good 50, but it pops into the midfield. and Hunch couldn't get a touch before Cajun Miller. And now Wolfie with a demo. Looks like they're just going to try and wait for this one to hit the ground. Hunch popping it up, and Doodle knocks it down. And JK, we have a series on our hands. It's 3-2.
Kings have just completely turned the series around with a 3-2 win. Now taking the series 3-2 as well. But Kings, again, all the pressure now. Completely lopsided from the last few games, as Kings now have a total of, I believe, 14 shots, if I'm doing my math correctly. 14 shots from Kings and only 2 from Distortion, both of them coming out from Sicky, which were both goals for Sicky. But
Yeah,
and Distortion was, oh, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, what do you think they can pull this one back to make it 3-3?
It's gonna be a tough one. They had the original comeback coming down from 2-0, but they're gonna have to play more strong offense. As you can see, they were more on defense this time with, I believe, 8 saves in total. So crazy amount of
Yeah,
saves. But
and if you're in the chat, let us know if you think Kings are going to be able to complete the reverse sweep. They need one more here before they can tie it up. I think they can do it. I mean, the sheer number of shots that they had in that last game, just unbelievable from them compared to games 1 through 3. But Distortion now, they need to get an early goal, maybe 2, to get the momentum back in their favor. But I mean, what do you think has been the big change that the Kings have made to turn this series around?
well, definitely, as we've been saying earlier, they've not been giving Distortion as much pressure in the defensive half, as well as just getting those neutral zone balls, just making sure that they're staying in Distortion's side, make sure nothing's going bad with them, and basically just winning the 50s. 50s are one key point in this series again. But
Doodle now with a shot. Close, but Sicky's there to stop it. Distortion looking to break out now. But Wolfie does a great job stopping that one. But the 50's going on goal. Doodle, last man back, and he makes the save. And he's going to decide to take this one across his net, and he gets punished for it. Vokes reads the touch and puts it in.
nice little clear there from Vokes, but Doodle with an unfortunate touch there, making it go right in front of his own net, and Vokes. But he's gonna take that.
Yeah, and if you're on the Kings, you got to make sure that you don't get discouraged by that. It's an unfortunate miss, sure, but it's one that's easily preventable, and it's not like Distortion. Yeah, they had some pressure, but it's not really that big a deal. They know they can fix it, and they're gonna go on offense here. And Cajun Miller with the double touch to bring it right
Cajun
back
Miller.
to 1-1.
Let's go Cajun. Nice little
And-
double tap, completely right over Sicky. Wow.
and another goal from the Kings to say that they are not out of this series. These guys will just not go out without a fight. Now Cajun Miller again. He's been so good for Kings today, both on offense and on defense. And before the series started, we said that he'd have big shoes to fill, and he certainly filled them well. Shot going wide. Hunch there, met by Doodle on the goal line, and now he's got a bit of space. Taking it all the way downfield. Looking for a demo, didn't get it now, but Cajun Miller, a good 50, and Doodle's there. No one across in the midfield to follow up. Hunch on 0 boost. Able to get a flick. Not quite though, and Wolfie putting that one in for 2-1 for the Kings.
Kings just pulling back the momentum. Wolfie with a power shot from the corner. Sicky was going for that corner boost, but nothing he could have done.
Yeah,
Great shot.
A couple key boost steals coming out from the Kings that stopped Hunch from really having any momentum. He was stuck on 0 boost, not much he could have done, but all credit to Wolfie. It was a great 50-50 from him. And Sicky now trying to get things started back up. I think we're going to need to see more from him if we want to see Distortion come back in this game. Not sure if you agree.
Oh, definitely. He's been slowing down a bit, but he should be. If he starts working back up, should be Distortion taking it all right here.
Yeah, and they're just looking for any momentum now as that ball continuing to stay in their half. Vokes able to clear, but Doodle meets him. And now Hunch finally giving Distortion some breathing room. A good double to knock it off the wall. Gives Vokes plenty of time. Goes far post, but met by Cajun Miller again with the save. Zicky now off the backboard. Doodle there to touch it away. Distortion getting a little more desperate here as time clocks down. We're down at 2 minutes, and Kings are just going to look to hold on, maybe add one more goal to their lead. A good demo comes out from Hunch to clear some of that offensive pressure. And now Sicky going to go for the dribble. He gets a 50. He's going to keep going with it. Oh, Wolfie faking out his own teammate. Another 50 from Sicky. And those are the types of solo plays we're going to need to see from him to sustain that pressure in the Kings half. Folks.
Definitely.
Met by Cajun Miller. Folks, what a read.
Oh my
2-2.
God. Vokes. After seeing that nice shot from Cajun, he's gonna have to pull something out of his own. He does. What a shot.
We're seeing a number of compilation-worthy plays here come up from both sides. To be fair, both sides have been pretty good on the defense, so these players are having to be really creative with their shots. But I think that might be one of the goals of this series. Now, we're approaching the final minute. Again, Kings need to win this if they want to stay alive in the series and force a Game 7. And JK, do you think they can do it?
I think Kings can definitely do this. They've been a little slow the past minute after that nice goal from Vokes, but they just need to keep up the intense pressure that they've been doing as of right now. But I think they can pull it off.
Sicky looking for a breakout play, couldn't get the touch. Wolfie with the 50. Cajun Miller, he's got space, but Hunch doesn't go back. Oh, and a bad miss.
Oh, no.
And Sicky with the miss too. It's all gone wrong for both sides here, but the Kings are a little fortunate here to get away with that one. Cajun Miller trying to carry it up with Distortion, looking for some late pressure. As we approach the final 10 seconds, it might be next goal takes this game. If it's Distortion that stores, it could be the series. The Kings, one last push. Taken away from Hunch. Great outplay from him. And we have overtime, JK.
This is one of the most intense games we've had this entire series.
And it's going to mean a lot to both sides here. If Distortion wins it.
And Vokes with the series winner.
And if you're a Kings fan, it's heartbreak here because you really feel like they could have won it with the momentum they were gaining. But off the kickoff, just a 50-50 off the wall. And Vokes, cool as you like, puts it in.
Jeez, Vokes taking over that game with a hat trick plus that overtime goal. Kings, very, very unfortunate again. But now we have Distortion going to be moving on to the lower quarterfinal, who's going to be versing the loser of the upper quarterfinal, which is going to be Blazers Parallax. So you never know. That was an intense game, but
Yeah,
you got any?
It was an intense game, and you give Distortion credit because they lost a lot of momentum there in games 4 and 5. They're able to bounce back, and Kings, it's a bit of heartbreak for them. It looked like they might be able to do it at the end and almost do the reverse sweep, but they couldn't do it, and their series comes to a heartbreaking end there. But good games to both teams. It was a really entertaining series to watch.
Definitely. And just one last question. Do you have any how do you think Distortion's gonna go throughout the rest of this playoff series? Playoff run?
I definitely think they're gonna have a chance to move on from that lower quarter final. But I think when they get to the semis, it's gonna be hard for them to move past there. I think they've got the right ideas and they definitely have good individual play. But I think if they want to make it further than that, they're gonna want to work on connecting with each other for more goals. But they're definitely a dark horse to watch out for in this bracket.
Definitely. But that's gonna be it for this rival league matchup. You got anything else to say? Maybe
Uh,
goodbye.
if you're new to the channel, make sure you follow us on Twitch and join the
Oh,
Discord.
definitely do
Um,
that.
but it's been a pleasure. I mean, this was my first actual cast ever, and it was a pleasure doing it with you, JK.
It was a pleasure. I'm glad.
All right, well
Well,
that's gonna do it for us here. Stick around because I believe we have Titan League action coming up after the break, which should be very exciting.
yes, I believe we do Grandmasters versus Pinnacle, number 1 versus number 4. So it's gonna be coming up like 5 minutes. So
All right, well that's gonna do it from us. But stick around at 9 o'clock. That game